Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So, I am going to say this. It is rude to come out and tell Black people that they have privilege because you and I know that they do not have any privilege. And coming from a native, an indigenous man, telling Black people that they have privilege and that he is sick and tired of Black people using their privilege, you must really be going wild, or you might be going through a hard time. But then the universe has done its work because I clicked on the link to check his video only to find out that his account banned. I don't know other things he may have said that warranted that, but I am sure he may have said some bad things. Now let's get into this video. There is this young man, the black man. His name is Saint. I am going to say this to Saint. Saint, I hope you know it is very rude to force people to support who they do not want to support. I hope you know that it is very rude to tell people who to support. So leave Black people out of this because I do not see them forcing anybody to support anybody. Most of the things, the suggestion they made before election was them suggesting this would be, let's do this way for the betterment of us, right? They did not go out looking for somebody to denigrate or to force into the polling unit or the vote, right? I feel really very bad for Palestinians and not for all these pro-Palestinians online, but the ones in Gaza because they are the ones going through it, not all these silly people. This young man is Haitian. I did not see him talk about Congo and all that, but he is here trying to tell Black people, tell my people what to do. Crazy things. Let's get into it.
People are getting sick and tired of your black privilege you guys got. You guys got black privilege like crazy. Since when you guys started asking the questions you ask and thinking that it's not disrespectful or something, yeah, yo, do something. I don't have to do anything. You do it to yourselves. Literally, nobody has to do anything to you guys. You literally are unaliving yourselves. Black privilege, yes. There are things black people can do that other people can't do.
Well, hello there. You're absolutely right, and I'm finna show you. I'm finna say some things. Y'all have no right to call white people Neanderthals. I'm gonna tell you that. Y'all got just as much Neanderthal as they do, and that's without being mixed up with them, which clearly you are. You dolls roll black blood on your hands, contributor to silent genocide, enslaving of black people, square-faced, whatever the equivalent of quadroon for Native Americans is. You blood quantum barely made it into the tribe, motherfucker. Got some nerve to talk about black privilege and we kill each other? Let's look at y'all's crime rates against y'all beating your women, unaliving your women. Y'all's best bet was to not kick us out of the tribes, which y'all do at alarming rates. Y'all's best bet for survival of y'all's culture was to keep us in those tribes and mate with us because we would have kept them for you. But who the fuck wants to do that? I don't know what kind of, what tribe that you're from, but I know that on the Trail of Tears, y'all had us in chains walking down with you crying. Most of the tears were of black people. I'm so sick of everybody attacking black Americans. I don't know what the fuck to do. Now it's you. I know you're not sitting there with that pathetic music in the background. You could have played some drums or something. Y'all need to worry about your own motherfucking people. You want to know why all black people always say that we got some type of native in our blood and then it comes up that it's barely in there or it's none at all? It's because y'all had us enslaved in your tribe. See, I came up with this theory. Y'all did in fact have us enslaved in at least your 5 civilized tribes. It was more. And when y'all lost the Civil War, which was about freeing enslaved black people, you kicked black folk out because you couldn't keep them as slaves. And because it's been hundreds of years of passed down trauma and stories, we thought that we came from your tribes and were mixed up with you, when in reality we were enslaved. And that's why we always have 5 tribes, there's 5 civilized tribes to say what we are: Cherokee, Choctaw, Black, all those. Y'all did us dirty. Y'all are colonizers of black labor. Clock that. If it wasn't for black people making that uproar and fighting for our rights, you wouldn't have the reservation land that you have today, nor your casinos or anything the fuck else. You're welcome. If you hadn't kicked us out of your tribes, hadn't had us enslaved, we wouldn't have our black people claiming to be Native American. Because the thing is, once y'all made them part of your tribes as slaves, they are part of the tribes. Clock that. But don't worry, you don't have to worry about me claiming to be such things. I'm very happy being black American. 10 out of fucking 10.
Y'all say Palestine is anti-black every 2 days, and I never see any of you guys talk about any black liberation. None! Like, I'm literally actively seeing Congolese and Sudanese people coming on here saying that their movements are dying because you guys are taking the time to send hate to the Palestinian group instead of actually liberating your own people. What's really anti-black? That? Y'all want us to sit up here and talk about this one girl who passed when people have been dying in hoops and in bounds in Haiti and Congo and Sudan. Like, bro, there's actual genocide happening. That country can protest for itself. They don't need our help. And I see a lot of Caribbeans over here being invested in what's going on with Adriana. You should have been invested in what was going on in Haiti. It's your neighbor. And in some ways, your mother. Y'all do Haiti so filthy. And y'all do Africa as a continent so filthy. If you cannot co-opt collective liberation with between Palestinian people and black Americans, that's fine. But co-opt the black liberation movement. What the are we doing? Y'all are so weird. Y'all say Palestine is anti-black every 2 days, and I never see any of you guys talk about any black...
Well, hello there. You're wrong. I talk about black liberation every motherfucking day for the past 5 years. Your takes be so fucking trash, nigga. You're dismissing anti-black. Anti-black isn't a big thing, I guess. Black Palestinians have been screaming for liberation way before this started in 1934. They literally live in a quarter called Quarter of the Slaves. And you're just dismissing that? I talk about Sudan. I talk about Congo. I broke down what's actually happening over there. I bet you don't know. They are literally the Arabs killing the black Sudanese in Congo. Everybody, the fuckers over there using black children labor, but specifically the Chinese. The Arab slave trade is still going on. And if you think that I'm going to stand up for an Arab who calls my people Abids, meaning nigger, you've lost your fucking mind. Y'all annoy the hell out of me. I cannot even focus on other issues because y'all are so fucking toxic. Y'all have made it where black folk are allowing Ofays, Arabs, Asians, Hispanics, Native Americans to come at black people that you don't agree with. What about our genocide here? Y'all motherfuckers that grew up in the suburbs have absolutely no right to be speaking. Every single one of y'all talks white. And yes, you can talk white. I know you grew up around non-black people. It was barely a nigga in sight, wasn't it? And those ones were whitewashed just like you are. Y'all sound like fucking white people. I am so sick and tired of this shit. I can't even make a joke. Now, I'm the last one you want to go back and forth with, but I'm not in a good mood, so I have no problem doing so. But what y'all not gonna do is dismiss a struggle that you don't have to really deal with and take up for our oppressors. You gotta be all the way fucked up. Free black Palestinians. And if you'd like, you can scroll back on my page and you can see where I talk about Congo, Sudan, Libya, the Arab slave trade that's still going on for the past 1,300 years. You want to stand up for them. That's why the black Palestinians are there, slave trade. But we're only allowed to talk about the Ofays and what the Ofays did. But apparently not any fucking more because y'all motherfuckers are over there caping for them motherfuckers, allowing them to attack us. I'm not no motherfucking black liberal, no black conservative, no fucking leftist, no fucking communist, no fucking socialist, none of it. I'm pro my motherfucking people that want to get out of this fucking struggle. I'm pro black people with some fucking common sense. Y'all want to label every goddamn thing and don't do shit. Annoying is what you are. Next will come plenty of jokes if you'd like to go there. 10 out of fucking 10. Y'all love Palestinians so much. Understand this. If America pulls its presence from Israel, more deaths would happen. It would destabilize the Middle East. Do y'all understand that? America behaves as a leash for Israel. Kamala was the best bet because she would have kept a tighter hold on them. Trump wants to make it into a resort. None of your candidates would have pulled from Israel when they saw what could happen. Israel, one of the options, would annihilate Palestine without America. Or they would pull back without the $3.8 billion that America gives them annually for military, weaken them, and without American presence in the Middle East, it would cause destabilization. It would be an all-out fucking war. It would tear up the Middle East. As bad as America is, I understand, it behaves as a restraint, depending on the president, the people in power, determines how tight they keep that leash on Israel. Have y'all thought about the consequences? Or are you just stuck on your moral high horse thinking genocide, 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 not understanding what Israel would do without America restraining it? Your best bet was Kamala, because even though she would have kept that presence in the Middle East and probably still funded their military, they still sit back and restrain Israel. She would have. But Trump, he want to make that motherfucker a resort. So while y'all are sitting around, ooh, the Dems, ooh, the liberals, ooh, this and ooh, that, yeah, it's bad. But it wouldn't just be Palestine affected. All those Arabs you love would die. Lots of them. Palestine would no longer exist. Understand that. America would lose allies, like we already have. More people would die. Now, let's talk about that. Y'all are shallow thinkers. Just shallow. It pisses me off. Think deeper. My favorite quote ever is, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Drink deep or not at all of the Parian spring. I hope y'all understand that. 10 out of fucking 10. All right, y'all said y'all was ready to talk about the Arabs. Let's talk about this comment. Go look up Afro-Palestinians and how they're treated by the Israelis and the Palestinians. Let me give you a preview. They treat them like shit. They call them abids. They have them in a quarter in Gaza that's called Quarter of the Slaves, where the Afro-Palestinians are, and where they are at a socioeconomic disadvantage. They also endure racism from both the Israelis and the Palestinians. They treat them like shit. So while they're over there saying, we stand with Black Lives Matter, we stand with black people in America, they treating the black people in Palestine like shit. They have no rights, no protection. They're called abids, which means... But you don't see the blown up bodies of black children, do you? Because they wouldn't pull at the heartstrings. But y'all are sitting there crying for your oppressors. Let's talk about it. What did the Palestinians do to black people? Everything. Every horrible thing that you can imagine. The last recorded slave ship of black people in Palestine was in the 19th century. In 1905, 8 black people were registered as slaves in Palestine. Mind you, that was registered. And they don't even know the exact amount of black people in Palestine. It's like they said from 3,000 to 10,000. They don't even know because they don't even care. They were brought there as slaves. Some of them immigrated, but most of them were brought over as slaves. We gonna dig deeper. What did they do? I'll tell you. 10 out of fucking 10.
So let me expand upon the video that I recently did where I was talking about the leftists that don't seem to understand how the government works and how that government interacts with international organizations like the UN, like the ICC or the ICJ. And I asked in that video to Torre, who's an investigative journalist who labels himself as an investigative journalist, and leftist TikTok, specifically the one that keeps coming across my FYP. For some apparent reason, they keep coming across my FYP with their horrible takes on everything. Anti-black takes, anti-Semitic takes, just bad takes all around. And the questions that I asked in that video, and they won't ever answer these questions, by the way. If Joe Biden had asked for a ceasefire immediately when the ethnic cleansing began, every single day, if he advised his UN ambassadors to vote for a ceasefire resolution, if he joined Kamala Harris
and asking for a ceasefire over and over again, would you guys still be making these videos? And I said, yes, you would. You would still be making these videos. And the reason why I said that is because the resolution doesn't mean that it's going to go through in the United States, because a resolution, for the most part, when it comes to the United States, is symbolic. The President of the United States has very limited authority to just enact a resolution that comes down from the UN. So Biden would have to take that resolution back to Congress, where he wouldn't have had any support to pass that resolution. It would have just been symbolic and performative. You guys would have looked at the fact that he couldn't get this accomplished because there isn't support in Congress. Republicans definitely would not have voted for this. And you would have called it performative, like you always do. Everything that the Democrats do is performative to you. Everything that Bernie does is not. Bernie could give the exact same speech that Kamala Harris gives, and you guys would applaud Bernie as if it was a revolutionary speech. Wow, talking to Republican voters, I wonder who said that, who also said that, in order for them to vote against the oligarchy. Who said that first? Wasn't it Kamala Harris? And you guys said that she was catering to Republican voters. Furthermore, when it comes to the ICC, the United States is not a signatory to the ICC. The Rome Statute was never ratified in the United States. Why? Because there is no support for it. Because it would have to pass through Congress and become domestic law in order for it to be ratified in the United States, in order for the United States to recognize the authority of the ICC. I know when it comes to a lot of people, they don't do the basic rudimentary things to educate themselves on what's actually happening in reality. And a lot of leftist content creators just read headlines. That's all they read is the headlines. They don't read beyond that. They don't research beyond that. They simply read the headline. But I find it odd also that a lot of you are intentionally spreading Israeli propaganda that is anti-democratic party propaganda, knowing full well that these people prefer Republicans. And you can see this in the polling data. Netanyahu as a leader hedges on to who he believes is going to be in power. But he, as a right-winger in charge of the Israeli government, Netanyahu as a far-right individual in charge of the Israeli government has always preferred Republicans over Democrats. Why do you think Trump is the only president of the United States to have a literal fucking village named after him in an illegally occupied region of the Golan Heights? Not Biden, not Obama, not even George Bush. Trump is the only one. Why do you think that's true? You never take into account why that's true. Because information and facts don't matter to you guys. You're only looking for confirmation bias. And that's why I don't trust most of you. That's honestly, truly why I don't value information from a lot of you.
I think some of you might as well just go to the CIA website and go to the career section. Jobs.gov or whatever, because this whole black people versus Palestinians, again, just go ahead and get paid for it, because I'm tired. I'm so fucking tired.
This is all I got from this video, and I am going to say that I hope people know that it is very rude. It is actually very rude to tell Black people that they have Black privilege. It is actually very rude. And also, it is very rude to tell somebody whom to support. Very rude that I woke up and started calling maybe African Americans, right? Telling them, start asking them, why are they not supporting maybe Congo? Or asking them, why are you not supporting Asians? You can actually ask you or plead with you to help us, right? But not mandating you or trying to force you to come and support what is going on, maybe in Asia or in Congo. It is you wanting to do it. I cannot wake up and do that because I understand human rights. You are also supposed to respect it. That I am supporting African Americans, right? Doesn't mean that other people will support them. But I also know that there is what we call initiative, knowing that we are the same, that we can always come out for one another. It is called initiative. It is me, leading, not forcing or mandating or trying to manipulate you. It's gaslighting, manipulate you into supporting someone. It doesn't make sense. But the only time I cannot force you still, I will still tell you, well, this is what should be right for us. This is good for us. This is okay for us. This is right for us. But I cannot force you. When I start forcing you is when I start when I come out and start taking you one or start calling names, telling you that you must. It is not a must. So stop telling Black people, calling Black people, or trying to force them to go and vote or to support who they do not want to support. They know who they want to support at this point in time. And even if they want to support Palestinians, it is not online Palestinians that they are supporting. They are sending their support to the people in Gaza, not you morons that are using pro-Palestinian movement to fight your own. You can imagine a Native American coming out to remind Black people that they have Black privilege. Thank goodness. You know what? TikTok instantly blocked him. His account is banned. I banned him. I mean to say, his account is banned. I don't know how. I clicked to go and see the video. The account has been banned. I don't know the other things he may have said that warranted the account to be banned. So he may have been going maybe harder. You all be doing way too much. Coming out to see, you see that saint that talks like an ant? He is Haitian. And I do not even see him talk about Haitian, what is going on in Haiti, right? That he talks about Palestine. I am not saying talking about, but he is not even talking more what is going on in his own country and what is going on in other. And he is saying, if you cannot support Palestine, can you support that you people that, I mean, first of all, Saint, that's your name. I remember telling you someday, I wish I can find the video. I remember telling you that you always have horrible takes. I said it in his comment section. That I have never seen someone that sound that like, how can you always have horrible takes? His takes are very horrible. Why is this? How do you see? This is, you can see this color, and you can see this color, right? I saw, you know how to. And you are telling me that this is green. That is how they are pro-Palestinians. I have never seen people like them, but I'll leave them as where they are. And for the Native American man, I don't even have a lot to say because, I mean, justice already has been served. I love my people. And that is it's your problem. Whatever you are saying, it's your problem. Why do I love my people? I love them because they are my extension. My people come first before any other person. The only time people that look like me do not come first is only when you are not for my people. Bye for now.